So hello everybody to our next edition of Animation Insights. Here with us Tomek, Popakul, Polish animator, one of the most talented person in the animation world today. His last film, Acid Rain, was a huge success everywhere, but also in Zagreb, winning both Grand Prix and Audience Awards, which was the case only a couple of times in the history of festival. It was also voted as the best film of the year by Zippy Frames pool of 26 international experts. Annie Awards nominated, so a lot of awards. Did that change anything in your professional life, all these awards?
I think I agree with my friend's statement that with every movie you start from the beginning almost, so there's no any, like you always you start from 0 point. So I think like profession-wise, it didn't change much. Like what was new for me, it was like, as you mentioned, this audience award. It was like this movie got 2 audience awards during festival circuit, which was very something that I dreamed about, and it was very new for me because always I was claiming I'm making movie for myself, but you claim that because you have no interest of the audience, so you want to defend your dignity. But yeah, like you feel very fulfilled when just audience liked it, and audience is never wrong. They like it or not, there is no way to cheat them. So that was my biggest success during this year. I think I traveled a lot this year, so I had very nice holidays after 3 years of making this movie. I was in Zagreb, I was in many other festivals, and it was yeah, it's this good part of my profession that you can travel to festivals later.
You went also to Annie Awards. How was that? Because we all imagine Los Angeles as a different place, especially for artistic Eastern European animators. How was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, experience was very nice, but very exotic. I mean, because I was spending most of time in this like artistic animation circuit where you know more or less everybody sooner or later. It was first time in the suit after last time in the suit I was in
Matura.
Matura. Yes, that was exactly. So that was weird. And later there was like a very nice speech by Janet Bonds, who she was getting some award for her input into American animation scene because of her Glass Festival, and she gave a very nice speech about how independent animation is important in the country where this industry is so
huge. Yeah,
huge.
Well, could you introduce the Acid Rain to like people who didn't see it yet? What are they going to see now?
I think it's like some kind of good insight into like underground rape scene in mostly in Eastern Europe, and it's the most of this vibe is referring to early years of the scene, like in the 90s when everything was very fresh and very wild. But till now there are such parties in the forest and that you can't find them on internet. You just need to know people that know other people, and you are in the middle of nowhere and you don't know who are these people and you don't know where you get there, and it's very weird experience.
You had this experience too?
Yes, I was, of course, like many years later after these beginnings, I like going to parties, so it's like many of these scenes are like a reconstruction of my memories, like from various parties. So actually, some people are messaging me like, "Oh, this is Center Tech in 2009 or something, or some abandoned military base," and I am like, "Yeah, sure. How did you know that?" "Oh, I recognize this bunker shape." And it's about two characters that are very lonely, but they are lonely in very different way, and they meet each other by accident, and there is some strange, very intensive relationship between them. So this is the story of the year.
And the music tracks which are in the film, did you choose them, or because it's a very fine selection of these?
Thank you. I was looking carefully for like old school kind of sounds, and finally I ended up in kind of various artist compilations. So they are like from various countries, from various like how to say, periods of time of the scenes. There are like some guys who are like legends of the scene, like Jerome Hill, or there is Karol Huka, who was one of the pioneers of this rave movement in Warsaw with his project Escape from Warsaw. There's young guy, a young producer from Australia. This genre is very established, but still like new talents are coming in this scene, and there is still, I think this music is still fresh and has like fan base of guys who are like born in, you know, after year 2000, and they dig it in some record shops, and they think it's still amazing. So it's more or less like old school sounds by around 5 producers.
The characters, the figures move quite oddly, let's say. And I remember from one lecture of yours that you were mentioning Chinese mock-up system. In the first moment, you were like unhappy, but then you then realized, oh, in fact, it suits very well.
Yes, I mean, I love motion capture. I love to work with actors and natural movements, and we are very optimistic by one motion capture system we bought, but it was some kind of, you know, Kickstarter, still in development technology. We are very enthusiastic about it, but it appeared it's creating a lot of errors and bugs, and then nobody wanted to clean the material because it's like very boring job. We created the most important shots in professional motion capture studio, but at the end we just looked at it, at this broken motion capture material where like characters are moving very like weird, and we thought, oh, that looks actually quite trippy. You feel like on acid like that sometimes when you feel you have more limbs than you have. We decided to show it, and seems people like the audience love it. Like what is just mistaken imperfection and kind of compromise. They liked it, and it fits the movie, and it's example how errors became kind of advantage and experience.
Quite perfect example for that, yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that it got over 100,000 views on Vimeo, right?
Yeah.
And like, how would you compare festival screenings with this Vimeo online presence? Is it comparable? Which one do you prefer more?
And I think it's a little bit like in music, it's like the experience of listening at home the album and going to the concert. And I think that you can say the music is the same, but I think there are totally different experiences. I mean, I would say the online streaming will give you like more audience, more popularity, more wide access to potential audience that can't travel or don't have money or something. So, and I appreciate it much, but festival is experience like concert. It's like much more rich experience. Of course, now we will need to wait a little bit. For that, we need to appreciate watching online. Just no other choice. Yeah.
So what are you doing now? Are you preparing a new film or resting from the traveling?
No, like from one side it's like apocalypse, but from other side it's day like any other, like staying in your room and doing something on computer for all days. It's just normal. So right now I'm about to start my new personal project. It will be similar size as Acid Rain, and I have two commissioned work to do. One for some animation festival and another one for some like big TV broadcaster. So I have much to occupy my thoughts and don't go crazy. That's yeah.
These two commissioned films, were they because of Vimeo or because of the film at festival, or how did the people reach you?
Usually they just write on the Facebook and I don't know. Since the Sidrain became popular and they just want something by this
Like
guy who did this thing. And but it's not that I met them through some particular festival or through some particular platform or pitching or something. It's just like.
But speaking of the style, which is let's say it's your very own style. So do they want this kind of style from you, which would be logical? Otherwise, why would they call you? So do they have some like ideas that you should change your style more in their direction, or do you have a total freedom?
I mean, for my personal project, I want to like go one step forward. I want to, or maybe backwards, like technologically, I want to make it much more hand-drawn. I'm a little bit scared of it, but I'm excited about it also. So this is where I want to try something new. And with commission work, it's, I think for many artists at some point, it's such trap that you are trapped in your own style that people are expecting like the same like classic Popakul, let's say. So I think commissioned work, they come with some quality or style expectations that they can feel secure, and you develop your style mostly on your like personal projects or some like side projects, like you are on some residency or you do some music video for a friend for free or something, and then there is no expectations, you can do whatever you want. And so this is nice to have this like small projects when there is no expectations and you can do whatever you want, more or less.
Yeah.
Znači Zagreb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was nice to see you.
See. That's it. That's it. Thank you, Tomek.